Grace had lost everything. Her family, her home, her dignity. For 6 long months, she danced at traffic lights and did hard work just to survive, while the man who destroyed her life lived like a king. But sometimes God sends help when you least expect it. Before we watch what happened next, please subscribe to my channel. Robert's car was the most comfortable place Grace had sat in months. The soft leather seats felt like heaven after sleeping on concrete under bridges. "Where are you taking me?" Grace asked, her voice still shaking from shock. "Somewhere safe," Robert said gently. "Somewhere you can rest without fear." They drove for 20 minutes through parts of town Grace had never seen. Finally, they stopped in front of a modest but clean house with a small garden full of flowers. "This is my home," Robert said, opening her car door like she was a queen. "And now it is your home too, until we make things right." Grace's eyes filled with tears. "But I don't understand. Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Robert smiled sadly. "Mom, I know you better than you think, and I know the monster who destroyed your life." Inside the house, Robert showed Grace to a clean bedroom with fresh sheets and new clothes laid out on the bed. "These are for you," he said. "Take a hot bath, eat some good food, rest. Tomorrow, we will talk about everything." That night, for the first time in 6 months, Grace slept in a real bed. She cried into the soft pillow, not from sadness, but from relief. Someone had shown her kindness. Someone believed she was worth helping. The next morning, Grace woke up to the smell of fresh bread and tea. Robert had prepared breakfast and was waiting at the kitchen table. "Good morning, Mom," he said, standing up respectfully. "Did you sleep well?" Grace nodded, still amazed by his kindness. "Robert, I must know. Who are you? And how do you know about what happened to me?" Robert poured her tea and sat down across from her. His eyes became serious and sad. "Mom," he said slowly, "the man who destroyed your life is my father." Grace's teacup crashed to the floor. "My father is Josh, Uncle Josh, your husband's brother," he said, watching Grace's face turn pale. "That cannot be true. Josh never had children." Robert pulled out an old photograph showing a young woman holding a baby. "This is my mother, Amina. Before Josh went to America, he promised to marry her. When she got pregnant with me, do you know what he did?" Grace shook her head, afraid to hear the answer. "He laughed at her," Robert said bitterly. "He said, 'You think I would marry a poor village girl? Take care of your bastard child alone.'" Tears rolled down Grace's cheeks. "What happened to her?" "She never married again. She worked as a maid to send me to school. On her deathbed, she made me promise to find my father and make him pay for all the lives he destroyed." Robert opened a thick folder filled with photographs. "Josh did not just destroy my mother's life. He destroyed many women's lives." He showed her picture after picture, women of all ages, all looking broken and sad. This woman, Hadiza, he spread lies about her when she refused him. This woman, Blessing, he promised to take her to America, then disappeared when she got pregnant. And you, Mama Grace, you got the worst treatment of all." Grace was crying now. "But why me?" "Because you chose his brother instead of him 25 years ago. He spent all that time planning his revenge." Robert leaned forward. "Mama, I found all these women. We all decided it is time for Josh to pay for his crimes." Robert spent the next hour explaining his plan to Grace. It was brilliant and dangerous. "You are going to call Josh," Robert said. "You are going to tell him that your husband and children have abandoned you. You are going to tell him that you realize he was right all along. You want to be with him now." Grace's stomach turned. "I cannot do that. I cannot pretend to love that monster." "Ma'am," Robert said seriously, "this is the only way to get justice. Josh's ego is his weakness. If he thinks he has finally won you, he will confess everything. He will want to brag about how clever he was." Robert pulled out a small recording device. "You will wear this hidden recorder every time you meet him. We will record everything he says." Grace was scared, but also excited. For the first time since her nightmare began, she had a chance to fight back. "But what if he does not confess?" she asked. Robert smiled confidently. "Ma'am, I know my father. He is a proud man. He will want you to know how smart he was. He will tell you everything." That evening, Robert took Grace shopping. He bought her beautiful clothes, jewelry, and makeup. He took her to a salon where they did her hair and nails. When Grace looked in the mirror, she could not believe her eyes. She looked like the beautiful woman she used to be before her life was destroyed. "Mom," Robert said proudly, "you look like a queen again." Grace touched her face in the mirror and smiled. "I feel like myself for the first time in months." But then her smile faded. "Robert, what about my husband? What about my children? I still love them, even though they abandoned me." Robert put his hand on her shoulder. "Mom, after we expose Josh, your family will see the truth. They will know they were wrong to doubt you, but the question is, will you forgive them?" Grace thought about this. Her heart was hurt deeply by her family's betrayal. "I do not know," she said honestly. "They threw me away when I needed them most. They watched me become homeless and did nothing." "That pain is natural, Mom," Robert said. "But first, let us focus on getting justice. Then you can decide about forgiveness." The next morning, Grace made the phone call that would change everything. "Hello?" Josh's voice answered the phone. Grace took a deep breath. "Josh, this is Grace." There was silence on the other end. Then Josh spoke, his voice full of surprise and excitement. "Grace, my God, where are you? I have been so worried about you." Grace wanted to scream at his lies, but she forced herself to stay calm. "Josh," she said in a sad voice, "you were right. You were right about everything." "What do you mean?" Josh asked, but she could hear the excitement growing in his voice. "My husband has abandoned me. My children will not speak to me. I have nothing left," Grace said, letting her voice break. "I have been thinking about what you said 25 years ago. Maybe I should have chosen you instead of Musa." Josh was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke, his voice full of fake concern. "Oh, Grace, my dear Grace, I am so sorry this happened to you. Where are you now? Let me come and get you." "I am staying with a friend in town," Grace lied. "Josh, can we meet? I need to talk to someone who understands me." "Of course," Josh said quickly. "Where do you want to meet?" "There is a small cafe called Mama's Kitchen on Lagos Street. Do you know it?" Yes, I know it." "When?" "Tomorrow at 2 p.m., Grace said. "I will be there," Josh said, his voice full of joy. "Grace, I have been waiting for this day for 25 years. After she hung up, Grace felt sick to her stomach. But Robert was proud of her. "You did perfectly, Mom," he said. "Now we wait for tomorrow." The next day, Grace arrived at the cafe wearing a beautiful white dress and looking elegant. The hidden recorder was tucked safely in her purse. Robert sat at a table in the corner, pretending to read a newspaper, but watching everything. Josh arrived exactly on time. When he saw Grace, his eyes grew wide with desire and victory. "Grace," he said, rushing to her table. You look beautiful, like the old days." Grace smiled, though it made her feel dirty. "Thank you, Josh. You look good too." Josh sat down across from her, staring at her like she was a prize he had finally won. "Grace, I cannot believe this is happening," he said. "After all these years, we are finally together." "Not yet," Grace said carefully. "I am still confused, Josh. I need to understand some things." "Anything," Josh said eagerly. "Ask me anything." Grace took a sip of her tea and looked into his eyes. "Josh, that video of me, everyone says I did something shameful, but I do not remember doing anything wrong." Josh's eyes flickered with something dangerous. "What do you mean?" "I mean," Grace said slowly, "I remember going to see Fatima's house. I remember drinking some juice. Then I woke up hours later, confused and lost. The next day, everyone was angry at me about a video I had never seen before." Josh was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "Grace, does it matter now? That video is in the past. What matters is that we are here together." But Grace pressed on. "It matters to me, Josh. I need to know, was that video real? Did I really do those things?" Josh looked around the cafe nervously. Then he leaned closer to Grace. "Grace, let me ask you something. If that video was not real, would you be angry at the person who made it?" Grace pretended to think about this. "No, Josh. If someone made that video to free me from a marriage where I was not truly happy, I would thank them." Josh's eyes lit up with excitement and pride. "Really?" he asked. You would not be angry? Why would I be angry at someone who helped me see the truth about my life? Grace said, smiling at him. Sometimes people do wrong things for right reasons. Josh was practically glowing now. He reached across the table and took her hands. Grace, you are even more amazing than I remembered. You are wise. You understand that sometimes love makes people do creative things. Grace felt sick, but kept smiling. Creative things. Josh looked around again, then leaned very close to her. Grace, what if I told you that someone who loved you very much might have arranged for you to be free from your marriage? Grace's heart was beating fast, but she kept her voice calm. What do you mean, arranged? Josh smiled proudly. I mean, what if someone who loved you created a situation that would free you from a man who did not deserve you? Grace pretended to be confused. I still do not understand, Josh. Josh was getting excited now. He wanted to tell her everything. Grace, my dear Grace, he whispered, what if that video was not real? What if it was made by someone who loved you so much that he was willing to be the villain just to have you? Grace gasped and pretended to be shocked. Josh, are you saying? I am saying, Josh said proudly, that love makes people do impossible things. I am saying that someone might love you so much that he would create any story, any video, any situation to make you his. Grace stared at him in fake amazement. Josh, did you make that video? Josh looked around the cafe one more time, then he smiled the most evil smile Grace had ever seen. My dear Grace, he whispered, I have loved you for 25 years. I went to America, but I could never forget you. Every night I dreamed about you. Every day I planned how to make you mine. Grace felt like she was going to throw up, but she forced herself to smile. Josh, you did all that for me? Everything, Josh said proudly. I found your friend Fatima. I paid her to drug you. I took those pictures and videos while you were unconscious. I made sure everyone in the village saw them. I destroyed your marriage, your relationship with your children, your reputation, all so you would have nowhere to go except to me. Grace could not believe he was actually confessing. But Josh, I suffered so much. I was homeless. I had to dance in the streets for money. Josh shrugged. I was waiting for you to come to me. I thought you would realize that I was your only option. But you are stubborn, my dear Grace. You made me wait longer than I expected. Grace leaned back in her chair, pretending to be amazed by his love. Josh, she said slowly, you destroyed my entire life because you loved me. Yes, Josh said excitedly, and it worked. Here you are, finally ready to be with me. Grace smiled her fake smile. Josh, that is the most intense thing anyone has ever done for me. Josh beamed with pride. I told you I would do anything to have you, Grace, anything at all. They met 3 more times over the next week. Each time, Josh confessed more details about his crimes. He told her about bribing Fatima. He told her about taking the photos while she was unconscious. He told her about uploading the video to destroy her reputation, and each time, Grace recorded every word. After the 4th meeting, Robert listened to all the recordings with satisfaction. We have everything we need, he said. Now for the final step. You are going to tell Josh you want to marry him, but you want to announce it publicly in front of your family and the whole village. Grace's eyes widened. He will want to do that. Oh yes, Robert smiled coldly. He has waited 25 years to humiliate his brother by stealing his wife. He will love announcing your marriage in front of everyone. Grace thought about 6 months of dancing in traffic while Josh lived like a king. Yes, she said with determination. I am ready. Grace called Josh with the final piece of their plan. Josh, my love, I want to marry you, but I want to do this properly, announce our engagement in front of everyone. Your brother, my children, all the village elders. Josh was so excited he could barely speak. You want to do this publicly, show my brother that I finally got the woman he could not keep? Exactly, Grace said, though her heart was breaking at his cruelty. This Saturday evening, Josh said immediately, I will invite everyone. It will be the happiest day of my life. Saturday evening arrived with dark clouds gathering. Josh had prepared a feast at his house with decorations and chairs for all the guests. By 6 p.m., everyone was there. Chief Musa sat confused and uncomfortable. Taiwo and Kemi looked angry and embarrassed. The village elders waited curiously. Outside, 3 police cars waited in darkness. Robert sat in one car, watching through binoculars. In another car sat 5 women, all victims of Josh's cruelty, ready for justice. At exactly 7 p.m., Josh stood before his guests with a huge smile. "My dear family and friends, I have wonderful news to share with you tonight." Just then, Grace stepped out of a car wearing a stunning traditional dress. She looked like royalty. The crowd gasped in shock. Some stood up angrily. "What is she doing here?" someone hissed. "How dare she show her face?" Chief Musa jumped up, his face red with rage. "Josh, why did you bring her here?" But Josh raised his hands triumphantly. "Grace is here because she has agreed to marry me." The crowd erupted in anger and disgust. "This is disgusting," people shouted. "She ruins one brother and now wants the other." Taiwo stood up furiously. "Uncle Josh, how can you marry this shameless woman?" Josh was enjoying every moment of chaos. "Your mother chose me because I am the better man." Grace stood silently, her heart breaking as she watched her family's pain. But she knew it was time. "Wait," she said loudly. "Before anyone leaves, I have something to say." Josh looked surprised. "Grace, what are you doing?" Grace pulled out the recording device and held it up for everyone to see. "I want to tell you all the truth about the video that destroyed my life. The truth about what really happened to me, and the truth about this man standing beside me." Josh's face went pale. "Grace, stop this." But Grace pressed play, and Josh's voice filled the room. "I found your friend Fatima. I paid her to drug you. I took those pictures while you were unconscious. I destroyed your marriage, your reputation, all so you would have nowhere to go except to me." The crowd was silent with shock. The recording continued. "I have loved you for 25 years. Every night I dreamed about you. Every day I planned how to make you mine." Chief Musa stared at his brother in horror. "Josh, is this true?" Kemi started crying. "Oh my God. Mama, what have we done?" Josh tried to run, but the front door opened and Robert walked in with 3 police officers. "Nobody move," the officer announced. "We are here to arrest Josh Adebayo for multiple crimes." Robert walked to Grace's side. "My name is Robert, and Josh Adebayo is my father." The crowd gasped in shock. Josh stared in horror. "Robert, how did you find me?" "I have been looking for you for 3 years, father, ever since my mother died and told me how you abandoned us." Just then, 5 women walked into the room, all victims of Josh's lies. One by one, they told their stories. Hadiza, whose life was destroyed by his lies in 1985. Blessing, who he abandoned when she got pregnant. Others he promised to marry and then betrayed. The crowd listened in growing horror as they realized what kind of monster Josh really was. Josh was trapped. Instead of showing remorse, his face twisted with rage. "Yes," he screamed, "I did all of it. I destroyed Grace because she chose my brother over me. I destroyed these women because they rejected me. I wanted Grace to suffer. I wanted her to have nowhere to go but to me." He pointed at Chief Musa. "You stupid fool. You threw away your wife based on a fake video. You believed lies instead of the woman you loved." Chief Musa's face filled with shame. He looked at Grace with tears. "Grace, what have I done?" Kemi and Taiwo were sobbing. "Mama, we are so sorry. We should have believed you." But when Taiwo tried to approach, Grace stepped back. "Stop. Do not come closer." Josh suddenly grabbed a knife from the table. "If I cannot have Grace, nobody can." He lunged at Grace, but Robert jumped in front and knocked him down. The police quickly handcuffed Josh while he screamed threats. "You will all pay for this. I am not finished." But his threats meant nothing. The truth was out. Justice was served. After Josh was dragged away, Chief Musa approached Grace slowly. "Grace, I do not know how to apologize. I should have believed you. I should have protected you. Instead, I threw you away like garbage." Grace looked at her husband with eyes full of hurt. "Musa, when I needed you most, you abandoned me. You watched me become homeless and did nothing." "Please," Musa begged, falling to his knees. "Let me make this right. Come home. Be my wife again." But Grace shook her head. "I forgive you, Musa. but I cannot come back. You did not trust me when I needed it most. I lost my dignity dancing on roads while you lived comfortably, never once wondering if maybe I was telling the truth. Taiwo and Kemi rushed to their mother. Mama, please forgive us. We were wrong. We want you back. Grace hugged her children, tears flowing. I love you both so much. But you also abandoned me. You called me shameless. You told your children not to speak to their grandmother. We will make it right, Mama, Kemi cried. Please give us another chance. Grace smiled sadly. I will meet with you sometimes. You are my children and I miss you. But I cannot live with people who threw me away so easily. The village elders, who had witnessed everything, made an announcement that shocked everyone. Chief Musa, the head elder, said sternly, You failed to protect an innocent woman. You showed no wisdom or justice. We remove you from your position as village chief. He turned to Grace. Mama Grace, you have shown courage, dignity, and forgiveness even after terrible suffering. We name you as our new village chief, the first woman chief in our history. The crowd cheered. Grace had gone from dancing in traffic for coins to becoming the most respected person in the village. Robert came to Grace's side. Mama Grace, you are free now. You have your justice and your honor back. Grace put her arm around Robert like he was her own son. And you, my dear Robert, you gave me back my life. You are my son now. 6 months later, Josh was convicted to life in prison. One of the women he destroyed had committed suicide because of his lies, and there were many other charges. Musa had disappeared from the village in shame. Grace's children visited her every month, trying to rebuild their relationship slowly. And Grace, she became the most beloved village chief in history. She helped other women who had been falsely accused. She started programs to protect innocent people from lies and rumors. Every evening, she would sit on her porch with Robert, watching the sunset. Mama Grace, Robert would say, you got your revenge, but you chose forgiveness. That makes you the strongest person I know. Grace would smile. My son, revenge gave me justice, but forgiveness gave me peace. This story teaches us that sometimes the people closest to us can hurt us the deepest. But it also shows us that truth always finds a way to shine through the darkness. Type forgiveness in the comments if you think Mama Grace made the right choice by giving her children another chance. Type justice if you think she should have completely cut them off after how they treated her. I'm curious to see what you choose. And don't forget to tell me, have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted? How did you handle it? Your stories in the comments inspire me to bring you more powerful African folktales like this one. If this story touched your heart and made you think about forgiveness, revenge, and family loyalty, please like this video and subscribe for more emotional stories that will make you cry, make you angry, and make you believe in justice again. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when I upload the next powerful story. And share this video with someone who needs to hear Mama Grace's message of strength and hope. Remember, no matter how dark your night gets, your dawn is coming. Just like Mama Grace, your truth will shine. See you in the next story, my beautiful family.